Okay, welcome. My name is Dana Bjornson. I am the Scholarship 12 teacher at Esquimalt High. I live and work on the Lekwungen territory, and I have been on this territory since I was 12. I moved here when I was 12 from the Lower Mainland. Yeah, and I graduated from Esquimalt, so I'm really honored to be a teacher on this territory in this amazing school where I actually even bring my own kids to. My kids should be going to Belmont or Royal Bay right now, but I drag them in to come to Esquimalt High. This is a great school, and I wouldn't have my kids here if it wasn't. So yay, Esquimalt. I'm going to start this talk by putting in, if everybody can turn on their chat, toggle their chats. I'm going to put a link here into the chat. It's a bit.ly. If you might have had it emailed to you already, but this is if you like to click on things and do any surfing while you're in a Zoom, like multitasking, you can access this. And even if you just want to listen to me and just relax right now, it might be a good idea just to copy this down or do something with it, because just so that you can have access to this. And I'm going to, oh, and as I'm talking, if you want to type your questions into the chat, go for it. If you want to unmute yourself and interrupt me, go for it. Whatever works for your learning style. Okay, now I'm going to share the screen as if I'm a pro here. I can do this. Yes. And yes. Okay, and boop. Okay, so I am in our Google Classroom for Scholarship 12. So if your person is in grade 11, you may not have access to this right now. I just wanted to show something that's coming up really quick in the school that a lot of students, not everybody, but a lot will want to attend. So a lot of student stress right now is just not knowing what their life is going to look like next year. And it is a stress. Like some of my strongest students right now are a little bit messy inside because they don't know where they want to go or what program they want to apply to and whatnot. So right now it's actually okay to be a free agent and not have the answers to these questions dialed. We want to be thinking about it though, and thinking about it with intention. So this event, it's being held, our day is October 4th. The students are going to sign up through their Google Classrooms. If they don't know how to sign up, they can connect with Tara or Mr. Henderson on the screen here. And basically we bus them from the school during Block B. Permission forms are needed, however, please get those in. And you get to go, you get to go to all these booths at all these different universities across Canada. Now, most of us recognize that not everybody goes to university. And a lot of these universities that are listed here, they used to be colleges, and they've since transformed. They've adapted, evolved into a full-on school that gives university degrees, but some of them still give, a lot of that have converted from college to university status will still have the college diploma programs happening. So for example, VIU, this used to be a college. And so if you are more trades oriented, you want to have, maybe you want to have that university feel, like live a little bit far away from home, but not a ferry ride or an airplane from home, check out some of the programs at VIU. And there's a few other ones here too, like Emily Carr, I don't think was university status, but if you're in the know, this is, all things creative are going on at Emily Carr. I recently, like last year, found out that Capital University is the go-to place for theater and theater design, set design and whatnot. All of these schools are going to have some feathers in their cap that make them super special, and not just necessarily the traditional university 4-year degree and then go work at Starbucks at the end type of thing. Now, for our Google Classroom for Scholarship, If you are a parent that has signed up for updates on the Google Classroom, you will only get access to the stream information. You don't get all of the goods that are located on the classwork page. On the stream though, there's enough information on here for adults to happily bug/prod/nag their loved ones into attending and doing things. Okay, so if you aren't getting Google Classroom updates as a parent or adult, all you have to do is email one of your kids' teachers and ask to be added to the stream list, and you can set the settings to getting updates every day or every week, whatever you choose. So we do have a scholarship meeting this week, Wednesday. It's going to be mandatory for my credit students, and audit students are always welcome to attend. And I like to put the agenda on every day just so that they know what I'm going to cover and whatnot. So I actually turned the Q into an assignment for my Scholarship 12 class. So if you're getting this course for credits, this is a required assignment. But having said that, I don't want to make students who know for sure, if you know for sure that you are not going to any of these universities, I just need to have an excused your parent or guardian can excuse you from going to this, and I won't have you. I'll just omit this task from your lists. Okay, so if you don't want to go for whatever reason, just get your parent or guardian to confirm that. Okay, so now I don't know if you've had time to go to the link I just shared with you. It looks like, oh, I see you. Oh, look at you all queued up there, all different avatars. Cool if you're the T-Rex. I'd want to be the T-Rex for sure. Anyway, so this is basically all the information that is on my classwork tab to help students find scholarships, find programs. I took the most important ones, like the best ones, the greatest hits, if you will, and put them onto this into this table for adults to have full access to, because you don't get these things on the Google Classroom unless you're a student. So I do have a welcome to the course slide deck. I don't know if we're going to do this right. Actually, you know what? There is one slide that I want to show you. Where are we? I'm not going to do the whole slide deck. If you want to see everything, have at her. But I just want to show you a couple of highlights here. So this timeline is mostly for students, but parents and guardians might be interested on just some of the big things throughout the year. Like my job as a scholarship teacher is to professionally nag students, grads in particular, to get their applications in and thinking done in time to make these deadlines. We're going to be doing, these are assignments in my class, making a resume, a scholarship resume, as opposed to a job resume. Some students don't know what a personal profile is, so we're going to talk about that in scholarship class as well. I want to say, if you are lucky enough to be living with a grad that has extremely high marks in general, university applications will be due at the end of November, early December, if that student wants to be considered for entrance scholarships. Okay, being accepted into a university early isn't that important. It does give the students some relief, like, yay, I made it into UVic or UBC or wherever the goal school is. So that part, I guess, is good. But just know that usually a university will only offer early entrance to about 1 in 10 of their future first year class. 90% of first years will not receive an early entrance offer, okay? And the reason for that is that these universities are giving these early entrance offers to students who have had excellent marks in grade 11. They're basing it off of grade 11 marks, and possibly just the first report card of grade 12. That's not a lot to go on. So they need to wait until they will wait until the third report card often in a student's grade 12 year. So that's 3/4 of the way through to see if that student is actually living up to their hopes and their dreams in their grade 12 academic courses. So don't be upset if you don't get early entrance. You might get your application in on time, but just because you don't get accepted right away, no big deal. 90% of you will not get early acceptance. Okay. So for folks that aren't shooting for entrance scholarships, or for folks that missed the early entrance deadline, most universities are going to have their deadlines in early January. So that means, hey, winter break. If you're really busy with academics, all these tests and essays or whatever extracurricular, that's okay. You can get your applications into UVic, U of C, wherever you want to go, and get them done over Christmas break. But just watch those deadlines. I see a lot of January 15th deadlines, February 1st deadlines. The February 1st deadline is almost worse than January 15th, because what are people doing usually at the end of January? I won't think about it. What are we usually doing in high school at the end of January? We're studying for our grade 12 final exams. And so it's really stressful right here. And getting those applications, you could easily miss a deadline if it's February 1st because of other stresses in your life. So we want to be doing the pre-work on these applications in here so we don't mess it up over here. And so just along the way, things ease up. A lot of grade 12 stress will end in February. So much will end. Why? Because the applications will be in, and then it's kind of out of your hands. You just have to do well in your grade 12 academics at this point. And the other thing to be worried about a little bit is if you're taking any online classes, please know if you are taking a required online class for your degree program, different universities have different rules on when this is allowed to be done by. I think UVic, and don't quote me on this, I'm pretty sure UVic, you have to be done your online course by May somewhere, like maybe the end of May, maybe mid-May. It's definitely not June though. So, okay. For other universities, you're allowed to take till June to finish your online course. But for UVic, it's early and it needs to be complete. So keep that in mind if you are relying on, say, I don't know, pre-calc math 12 online. Why you'd want to do that is beyond me. That would be super hard to do. But if you are doing it, it needs to be done before May. Just know that. Okay. Summer school courses. Do not count on taking summer school courses for university, college. They won't. Most universities won't allow these courses to be accepted. You'll have to apply the following year. But again, check your school if that's a thing. Now, how much money do you need? Okay, how much money do you need? And it really depends on where you want to go. So this is the time in which if parents and guardians haven't been overly transparent with how much money is available to help students go through school, now's the time to have these conversations, because the different, like $7,000 per year is the average tuition in Canada. UVic's a little bit less, and UBC is under $6,000. So UBC is quite affordable compared to other schools. I know that Ontario universities are much higher. I have a niece whose first year at Western, and granted it was engineering at Western, it was $16,000 just for tuition. That wasn't room and board and all the other things. So it really varies. Depending on where you go. So this is a factor, obviously. But then if you are leaving the pleasures of home and the safety of home, the nest, You need to be budgeting about $20,000 a year to live on residence, pay for food, transportation, all those things, plus your tuition, yada, yada, yada. So 20 grand per year on average compared to 7. So it is a huge decision for a student to make to leave Victoria and not live at home. And some of us have the money set aside for us and some of us don't. So have that conversation at home. How much money is mom and dad able to pay? And some families have nothing to pay. So that's a factor too, right? If you have a gap between how much money you have set aside, and that includes like from folks, from family, and from scholarships versus what is the gap? It's the average student loan is $15,000 per year, which I wouldn't want on anybody. Okay. So I'm going to actually not do the whole slide deck here. Again, just unmute yourself if you have questions, and or let me just try and get into there, or put them in the chat. Parents, guardians, students, please fill this bit.ly out if you want me to email you updates from specific schools. Okay, that's easy to do. If you don't know what program you want to take, Post-Secondary BC can help you find the program that you are looking for. It's a complete list of every program in every school in BC, colleges, universities, you name it. So if the student really doesn't have any clue on where to go to, I would start here. Okay, I would start here. If the student doesn't know what they want to take, but they know that they want to go live with auntie and uncle in Ottawa, sure, go to the University of Ottawa and take a look at their programs and just see what they have to offer. And you can find programs that way if you have a destination that you'd like to live in or live at. Now, what I'd like to show you right now is I'm going to go to this scholarship spreadsheet. This is the one that I maintain. I didn't start it. Tara actually started it many years ago. Tara in our career center. She is lovely, this lady. And I've just sort of edited it, and I keep adding to it. Every once in a while, a link might not work. So I rely on people to tell me if a link is not working. The deadlines for all of these awards are sorted by tabs at the bottom. So it's during Scholarship 12 meetings, if I have time before the lunch break is over, I will cruise this spreadsheet with the class just to see if anybody is there that hasn't gone here. So there's some pretty big kahuna wins here, like the TD scholarships for community leadership. I don't think Esquimalt High has ever won this award. It's a huge one, 70 grand. It's a tough one. We've had some amazing student leaders in our school. We did have someone shortlisted, I think 3 years ago, but she didn't win, unfortunately. When you're shortlisted for a major scholarship, that goes on your resume, by the way, because that's good. All of you folks that want to work in politics, now's the time to start thinking about your House of Commons page program application. If you don't know about it, come see here. We send many students to this, and our students really kick butt on it. But you can get a sense, like some of these, like the Burger King scholarship, yeah, whatever, it's the scholarship. I think I'm not sure. You just have to click on it and see how to apply for it. I just added this one in, the Terry Foss Humanitarian Award. This is a pretty big one. It's a $28,000 scholarship. And it's for folks that are, making the world a better place, and with strong academics and some athletics as well, but really humanitarian efforts for this one. So these ones that are a lot of money, there's some effort that needs to be made on these scholarships. I want to show you though how I found this tonight. I just came across it in preparing for you. But before I leave the spreadsheet, just know you can click along the bottom here and go to all these different awards. When I learn about a new cool award, I just add it to the bottom. And I don't have specific due dates here because they change year to year usually. And I just want the student to look it up and find the current one themselves. Scholarship searching does not end in June, by the way. A lot of deadlines come into the summer. So just keep looking, okay? As I find summer ones, I add them to here as well. Okay, what did I want to show you? I wanted to show you this guy right here because we want to find scholarships, right? We're trying to win money in this class. So this UVic list, even if you're going to college, like not university, this is UVic's page for external awards. These are not awards that are specific to students going to UVic. You could be going anywhere for these awards. And I found the Terry Fox one. I think I found it in here from affiliations, clubs, and unions. But just take a look. There's different categories. A very specific one for future business students. So please come in here if that is you. Let me just click on one of the things here and look at this. 47 pages of potential scholarships to look through. Now, this is where I'm giving parents homework. Like if you're just sitting watching Netflix or, you're just like wanting to help your kiddo find some things to apply for, you could just go through these pages and just scan them and click on things with your iPad or your phone and just see. And UVic doesn't guarantee that all the links are up to date. Sometimes they're not there, but right off the bat, we do have a lot of military families here. There's a military family descendants award here for you to check out. But if you don't have a lot of time, don't forget the trusty friend of Control F. I'm going to Control and F this sucker. And I think the way I found the Terry Fox one tonight, because we have a lot of athletes, right? I just typed in athlete. This is a different one. Let's see here. This one, I did find this one tonight. This is for a credit union in Vancouver. So again, they are some of them are so specific. Yeah, you have to be a member of this credit union in Abbotsford. So you just keep going through here. One of two matches. Oh, maybe it wasn't on. Oh, here. Oh, this is it. This is how I found it. Terry Fox. I just started typing in athletics. It took me to this one specifically for athletes, but it actually isn't. Like that's the thing that they're looking for strong performance in academics, athletics, and volunteerism. So if this is you, please look into this. This is a huge scholarship, $7,000 renewable. Hello, I will say this, February 1st is wrong. When I looked, I went here tonight and it's actually December 1st. Okay, so please, it's up to you to not to check what the current award is offering. Okay, so lots of fun here. Like there's just so many for you to scream through. Arts and science should probably have lots of pages. Oh, okay, 19 pages of students going into faculties of arts or science. So just, Control F what you're good at, and it will take you to, like if you just Control F art, you'll get a whole bunch here for sure. Okay. Meeting will end in 10 minutes. Okay, so I'm just going to just quickly scan. I want to, okay. Esquimalt High Scholarship List. I'll be talking more about these scholarships in the spring. It doesn't need to go on your radar now. The District Authority Award, this is a $1,250 scholarship that we get about 20 to give to our students each year. Again, if students come to Scholarship 12 meetings, I will give them all the information. This is where most of students will be getting most of their money from these scholarships here and from District Authority. Like you can count on, if you are given it, if you're excelling in a field of one sort of the other, you can count on walking away with at least $1,500, maybe even closer to $2,000 from these awards and the district authority. Now, for adults, if you do work for someone that might want to donate, or maybe you are a business owner, or maybe somebody important to you recently passed away and you want to have a memorial award for that person, I do have a way to donate money to this Esquimalt High scholarship list. My mom actually recently passed away like 3 years ago, and she was a teacher and a counselor and all things that I value as a person. And I've since made a memorial scholarship in her name, and students will be able to read a little bit of a write-up here about my mom, and it just is a nice way for me to keep her memory alive. So I'm encouraging new monies all the time so we can give them away to our future students. Okay, stop the share. I'm going to take questions from you, the people. So I don't see any in the chat. Does anybody have questions that they'd like to ask? Oh, yes, I can reshare the bit.ly. Yes. Thanks for asking. If your child is planning to do a gap year, our scholarship's good for 2 years. Thank you for asking that. Some are and some aren't. So all of the Esquimalt High awards and the District Authority Award, yes, you have 2 years for the Esquimalt Awards and 5 years for District Authority. A lot of other scholarships that you apply for, however, no gap years allowed. Okay, so that's something to consider before doing a gap year. But all the ones from the school, you can count on $1,000 to $2,000 worth of gap yearable scholarships. What you can do for entrance scholarships and university or college specific scholarships is you apply for those in the year that you are going to the school. And before I forget, if there is a gap between how much money you need and how much money you have, so there's a gap, you then want to apply for bursaries. By applying for the bursary, or by getting a bursary, you will be eligible for the school's, sorry, I said the wrong word. You want to apply for a student loan, and by getting a student loan from the government, it makes you eligible for bursaries. Okay, so getting a student loan, not maxing it out, you don't even necessarily have to use it all, but just getting a student loan demonstrates that you have financial need. Then you have access to all of this money for students that have financial need. UBC does not give money, hardly at all. They only really give money to people who need it. So if there's financial need and you want to go to UBC, they are very generous to students who have the need. Okay, I'm going to keep going. If the scholarships are listed on the UVic page, can they? Yes, that link to the external scholarships that I showed you can be used anywhere. These are just awards that people have given them that they are just putting on a list. Okay, so yes, go to each award specifically. International scholarships. I don't really have any international scholarships. I would suggest going to the school. So you're going to apply to a specific school in New Zealand, and they're going to have awards there. They will have international awards. So awards designed for international students, and just apply for those ones. Keep in mind to go over, and unless you are a New Zealand citizen, it's going to be tens of thousands of dollars, like anywhere from $40,000 a year to $80,000 a year in tuition alone as an international student. So it's very expensive. Unless you have dual citizenship, I wouldn't recommend it. Instead of going to New Zealand to do your degree, I would go to a UVic or a UBC and do their global program. They have programs that you can do a semester away from Victoria or Vancouver, go to a different country, and pay Canadian tuition. And then you get like a half year away. It's not the same as being away for 4 years. I get that, but you get a little chunk of away time through your local university. Okay. Yes, I will be teaching a class on how to make a scholarship resume. So please have your kiddo come to that class. It is coming. It is coming. Is it my next one? I don't know if it's my next one or not. It might be in 2 weeks from now. I'm going super fast because I'm going to be cut off any second. Can you talk about applying for admissions and scholarships, then once admitted, requesting deferral, creating a gap year? I believe that there are some scholarships that can be deferred with the admission. Yes, entrance scholarships can be deferred for sure. Yeah, like if you, it's just some of the private scholarships, those ones likely cannot be deferred. But if you do get an entrance scholarship this year and then defer and take a gap year, that entrance follows you because that university wants you to come to them. So they will let you take a gap year. But there are rules on the gap year. You can't go to another school and things like that. So just follow the rules and don't muck it up and lose your scholarship if that's the case. Yeah. Are your classes during school time? The scholarship class is Wednesdays at lunch every second Wednesday. On the other Wednesdays, I sometimes have special meetings that are niche for certain students that will only really be interesting to a certain group of students. I always invite everybody to them, but they're not mandatory meetings. But to this Wednesday at lunch is our next scholarship meeting that's mandatory for scholarship students. And this week we're meeting in the library because there's 63 scholarship 12 students registered right now. It's a big class. Did you say that if a student takes a gap year, they can apply for entrance scholarship during that year? Yeah, like if you apply for university this year and get an entrance scholarship and then decide, oh, I want to gap it, you can defer and your entrance scholarship will be deferred with you. It's really only for entrance scholarships though. If you won the Loran scholarship, like it's $100,000, they won't let you defer that. Okay, so you're going to university. You'll have to forego your gap year if you win that one. So it's really specific, but entrance scholarships can be deferred. You can apply to your schools in a year from now if you want the gap year, but it does make sense to, if you want to gap year it, to apply during high school, because if you run into problems, and people run into problems, I'm here to help you. Your counselors are here to help you, and people that can help you are here. Next year, you're on your own. You're on your own. Can grade 11s go to those meetings? Yeah, they can. They just want to slip in. They see something of interest. Sure. I'm not going to kick anybody out of the meeting. I will get the grade 11s onto their scholarship Google Classroom in the spring though, and just give them a few things to think about. I don't want to overwhelm grade 11s at this point. Right now, if you're in grade 11, just, don't work too many hours at a part-time job, like keep your grades up, but have balance in your life. So if you do work a part-time job, keep it under 10 hours a week. Have an extracurricular, have a volunteer thing or a club, but always prioritize your marks, okay? And have balance. Okay. I know I'm forgetting something to say something. Yes, I'm glad I mentioned the student loans. Student loans are not evil. Getting a student loan and not maxing it out gives you access to more money for bursaries, okay? So that's something to